Hello everybody and welcome to the United Stand. This is your latest Manchester United news and transfer news. How are we all feeling today? I'm not singing a song. I'm not in the mood for a song. But I tell you what, John Bon Jovi's living on a prayer. I'm living on Barocca at the moment because it's tiring. We've got lots and lots of time still to come. And I tell you what, I said this last night, it's not necessarily going to be an easy ride. Dembele and Cavani are apparently the deals that United are closest to at the moment. We'll be talking about the truth in those matters. But I want to just start off with an update from David Ornstein, who is a very good journalist, and he's updated about Manchester United in the last hour. And what he is saying is that Chris Smalling to Manchester United is very close. Manchester United looking like they're going to get the fee that they want there. A right winger is still a priority, as is a left back, and potentially a striker if they get time. So let's see what happens with that. Jadon Sancho to Manchester United. All I'm going to say is, despite what's going on with Dembele, and I'm not going to avoid that. I'm going to talk about that, of course, and Cavani. Despite all that, there are people I've spoken to who even yesterday evening were like, there's encouraging signs around Jadon Sancho. So I remain 90%. I think this is the path United need to walk down, and any other path will lead to ultimate failure. So I remain adamant that that is the deal that Manchester United will do. But we will see. Come on, you Pratt. I used to be 90%, but even I've come to realise it's not going to happen. End of. Will you now admit you're 50-50 at least, as Galactic Sabres UK? Well, we've answered that, Pratt. He can sit back down. But look, let's talk honestly about what is going on at the moment. These Dembele rumours are full of... I nearly said truth. I mean, look, there's a lot going on around it. And also Cavani as well. I woke up this morning and Cavani is now a player that United are apparently talking to. Jake Minton, latest member of the United Stand Members Club. I mean, what I would say about this, I suppose if you spoke about it in a collective first, if you talk about Dembele and you talk about Cavani, you will get United fans who are excited. I would call them naive, but you know, it's down to them. It's their opinion. The Glazers must love you because they've done this before. It's failed, and you want it to happen again. It's amazing, really. But I look at Spurs transfer window, right, and I see, look, Doherty and Højbjerg are both Premier League proven midfielders. Not midfield. Premier League proven players that will improve Spurs. Bale is a calculated risk. Reguilon is a player, a very good left back. He's been proven as that. They're also looking to bring in a centre back like Skriniar, and they're getting Vinicius Junior from Benfica, who is a striker we were looking at 6 months ago. They're getting him on a loan to buy deal. That, I'm not saying those signings are right for Manchester United, and I think this is where people go wrong with transfers. Oh, Spurs have done better business than us. Arsenal have done better. They have done better business than us. It doesn't mean we should go for Willian and Gabriel. That's not what I'm saying. We shouldn't go for Bale. But what I'm saying is, respective to that club and their ambitions for this season, remembering Spurs didn't finish in the top four, remembering Arsenal did finish 8th. Look at Chelsea, Spurs, Liverpool, Man City, Arsenal. Respective to what those clubs are trying to achieve this season, they've all done way better business than us, way earlier than us. That's the frustration. That's the annoyance. Respective to what their ambitions are for their season, they've all done way better business than us, and that isn't acceptable. And what United have done now, if it's true, if Dembele is a target, if Cavani is a target, Manchester United have repeated the same mistakes of the past because we don't have a director of football and we have clowns running our transfer business. We have ignored what the manager wants, and we have become inept and basically thrashing around like a fish out of water, desperate and reactionary to a transfer market that we are out of our depth of. We are like a fish out of water. We're just flapping around trying to find our way back to anywhere. And instead of finding our way back to the ocean, we're going to find our way back to a muddy puddle. And that's what we're going to do, where we've been for the last 8 years. It's inept. It's ridiculous. And look, you can talk about Solskjaer, you can talk about Mourinho, you can talk about Van Gaal. What is the point in getting a manager in and then ignoring the advice they give you to make Manchester United great again? It's stupid. It's like employing the world's best bricklayer and then giving him polystyrene to build a house with. It's going to blow down. Like, these managers, whatever you think about them, they don't get what they want. They get what Woodward & Co. provide, which is not right. Oh, I want Jadon Sancho. Here's Usman Dembele. It's you know, and the list goes on and on. It's inept, desperate, thrashing around, reactionary, late, and embarrassing. And that is Manchester United. And until we get a director of football, which I don't think we're ever going to do, because the Glazers love Ed Woodward because he brings money in. They've got no idea that he's got no idea about football. They just love the money that comes in. And whatever we do in the next few days, and I do think we will sign Jadon Sancho, whatever we do in the next few days, it's too bloody late and it's embarrassing. And that is what I'm talking about. When I talk about Spurs and everyone else like that, they've done great business for what they're trying to do this season. All Spurs want is fourth and a trophy. You know, what we're trying to do is close the gap on Liverpool and Man City and go deep in the Champions League. And yet Spurs have done way better business than us. Hi Mark, good morning. I read a tweet from United Stand about Dortmund lowering the asking price about Sancho, says Anish Pal. I think we'll get Sancho. I still say confident that. Sancho to United 100%. Dele Alli to Dortmund. I'd take Jovic as a backup to Tony, says Reyes. I'd agree with you on that one. And in my opinion, if a deal ain't agreed today or tomorrow, it ain't happening. Won't do it at the weekend big game. Dortmund won't do a deadline day deal, says Sean Turner. And what do you think of Everton? If they keep this up, they might make top four. CV Kevin, well, we'll have to see. Sancho is coming, lad. Watch all the positive news coming in. Sky already started. Heads are turning, mate. Good luck to the naysayers, says Stephen Alexander B. And Sancho has had a mysterious illness before when he wanted to push a move to Dortmund. Be interesting to see if he shows up for training this afternoon. 90% club stands strong, says Alex Stevens. And look, just to give both sides here, because I think it's very important. I always think we're signing Sancho, and I still do now. But when I was on the show last night, you know, you're live, you're getting the news in. The only thing that was making me depressed was the Dembele story was coming from Romano. And Romano is a respected, credible source at transfers. And that was the thing that was banging in my head and worrying me. Because, you know, 90% ain't 100%. But after a good night's sleep and a Barocca and a quick run around the block, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. And look, I can't, just on Dembele, just to be fair to Dembele, because... Right, he was never injured. He was never injured at Dortmund, right? He went to Barcelona 3 years ago for 135 million and he's a flop. I don't care what anybody says, oh, Dembele's my boy, he's a baller, this, that and the other. He's a flop. He's a flop. He is the definition of a flop at Barcelona, right? Why is he always injured is the first question you've got to ask. The reason he's always injured... And there's a lot, you know, a lot of this is theory. I'm not saying it's factual, but, you know, you start adding the blocks together. There was big issues with Dembele at Barcelona that he didn't get the protection he needed. He's a young player and it was felt that he was indisciplined. His diet was bad. He was staying up late at night. Not great things for a player in his early 20s who's trying to get into a team that's got Messi and Suarez in it. So, you know, there was a feeling that he wasn't... He needed people around him. He's a young lad and he didn't get that. So Barcelona probably let him down there and he... was allowed to just live this lifestyle that wasn't as a footballer, which is never going to help you mentally or physically. The second thing is that he was overplayed when he was still growing. If you look at Dembele, he's not like a Mason Greenwood. Mason Greenwood's like 18 and he's quite filled out. He's quite a gangly player at Dembele. He's not so much now. He's built out now, but over the feeling is that Dembele was growing and his legs were growing when he was playing 40, 50 games a season for Dortmund. And this has caused major weakness in his muscles and his hamstrings. And this is something that will stay with him because if you know, at the end of the day, if you keep working muscles when you are growing, you're going to weaken those muscles because they don't grow properly. And that's the other issue with Dembele. So look, Dembele's a very good footballer, but I'll spell out what I said last night. Massively injury prone. That's not going to improve. There are question marks about his, you know, lifestyle, but, you know, that could be improved. He doesn't want to come to Manchester United. We'd have to pay him £200,000 a week to come to United. We'd also have to take it on with a loan obligation to buy because Barcelona don't just want to do a loan. To me, it's no. It's absolutely no. It's like employing a blind zookeeper. He's going to get injured a lot. But the fact that Romano's talking about it just makes you think, And what I would say about this, wherever we end up, I think the scariest thing to come out of this transfer window, even if we get Sancho, Jovic and Telles, which I would be over the moon with the little time that we've got left. But I think the most important thing to take away from this, and it'll be hard if Jadon Sancho's holding up the number 7 shirt, I know, but when we've calmed down and when we've thought through this transfer window in a week's time, or 2 weeks or 3 weeks, the most important takeaway from this is shambles. It's been a shambles. It's all too late. It's all over the place. We're not prepared. And above anything else, we have considered Ousmane Dembele. And that to me is terrifying. We've considered this player. We may end up with this player, but we've definitely considered this player. And most of you know why this is a terrible deal. But United haven't learnt again. And as I said last night, it's a combination of all our bad deals. Falcao, injury prone. Di Maria didn't want to be here. And expensive wages, Alexis Sanchez. And we've fused it all together and gone to do it. And the scary thing is, we've actually considered doing that. This is why we need a director of football, because these people doing our deals are incompetent. And it's got nothing to do with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer or Jose Mourinho or Louis van Gaal. They give their list or they try and help, but they don't get what they want. And this is why we need a director of football, because we have got clowns running the circus and it's terrifying what we're trying to do. As for Cavani, I know a lot of you like Cavani. To me, Cavani is just another Dembele. He's older. He's 33 and a half now. He's had bad injuries in the last year. He's never played in the Premier League. He's going to be on 200k a week. It's just everything bad about Manchester United. And look, worst case scenario, we get Dembele and we get Cavani and we get Telles. A lot of you will be like, oh, I'm all right with that. It's only for a year. We'll get Sancho next summer. La, la, la. And I tell you what, within 2 months, they'll be injured. We'll be doing shit. Spurs and Arsenal will be pushing us for 4th place and you'll all start moaning. You've got to stop letting yourself have the wool pulled over your eyes by ineptitude in that club. I'm telling you now, love Ollie, love the coaches, love the players, but what goes on above them, it's a joke. It's a circus. And if you want to keep being convinced by that circus, then you're going to end up going round this circle. Ollie will be sacked. We'll get a couple of players in. Next manager will do well. Then they won't get backed. We'll get another crappy couple of players in. Opportunist signings. Big name signings coming towards the end of the career, or injury prone that nobody else wants. I mean, no, that's the important thing. Barcelona don't want Dembele if they let him go. Anyway, asked a few days as to why you're not going for Cavani since he's a free agent and can get 15 plus goals. Martial and Rashford need an experienced support and a target man. Go and get Cavani, says Akshay. Well, you're the sort of person I'm talking about. Because you're not looking at we're Manchester United. You know, the thing is, Manchester United this season, we're meant to be trying to close the gap on Liverpool and Man City. Why are we doing Falcao-like deals again? Why are we doing Di Maria deals like that again? We've done these deals, we've seen the pitfalls, we've seen the embarrassment, we've seen the mistake, and yet people are saying do them again. Let's do Cavani again, who's just another Falcao. Like, he's got an injury record, he's old, he's past his best, and he's expensive. Why do we want to do these deals? We as a fan base have got to look at what our contribution is to the failure of Manchester United as well. Because by rewarding the ineptitude of people like Ed Woodward and Matt Judge, you're allowing them to keep doing it and doing it. They need to be called out. If they did roll out Dembele and Cavani and went, look at what we've done, a load of you will be going, Cavani shirt, yeah. You shouldn't. You should not be celebrating their incompetence, because they'll just keep doing it again and again. At some point, your intelligence, because you've got way more football intelligence than them, has got to kick in. You've got to stop looking short term. You've got to stop allowing the papering of the cracks, and you've got to go, hold on a minute. Cavani, without doubt, is one of the world's best strikers over the last 5-10 years. But is he one of the world's best strikers now? Why is nobody else queuing up for free agent Cavani? Why do PSG want him to go? Why does no other Premier League club want him? Why was Benfica the only team in for him? Where's Serie A? Where's La Liga? Why are Manchester United signing Cavani? How long can he give us? Is he a major risk? Has he got injury problems? Is he expensive risk? Yes. All those things I've said just off the top of my head put a big red flag above the head of Cavani. But you lot will go, it's Cavani! It's Cavani, man. It's Cavani, bro. Yeah, it's Cavani. Yeah, it ain't Cavani of 5 years ago that maybe Real Madrid want. This is Cavani that nobody wants, with an injury record at 33 and a half, who's never played in the Premier League, who is expensive, who, even if he scored 15 goals this season, is gone next season. At what point do you start to go, this is bad for United. This is short-term opportunist waste. This is not building a vision. A year ago, the club and Ollie are coming out saying, be patient. Now take that. Have a bit of patience. Have a bit of patience. We're building something for the future. These are young, hungry players who are hungry to come to the club, who will grow with us. And there we are a year later, after a messed up transfer window. scratching around, looking to get short-term Falcaos in again. The cycle keeps going around, and until we stop and say, look, nothing against Cavani, but this is a mistake. I look at what Spurs have done. Vinicius Junior. He ain't Cavani, but he's of a right age on a loan-to-buy deal, and he could be here for 3 years. That is a vision. This is what I'm talking about. I look at what Spurs are doing, Arsenal are doing, Liverpool are doing, Chelsea are doing. I don't agree with all their business, and a lot of their business wouldn't suit us. But I look at it and I go, if I'm Jose Mourinho, I can't really moan. He could at United, but he can't moan at Spurs. He's got a decent squad. He's brought players in to grow with. He's got a team there at Spurs that he can work with for the next 2 or 3 years. If United bring Cavani and Dembele in, I don't think Ollie can work with that for a year. Dembele fails, goes back next summer. Cavani, what can he give us? 6 months, 12 months? He's 33 and a half and he's injury prone. So, I think people are, we're human beings. We FIFA 21's out today. People have different mentalities around football, but we do keep falling into this. They'll sell you a dream. Look, da-da, you've won a bloody holiday. Yeah, it's crap when you get there. And it's always short-termism with United. They've got what United need to do in these next 3 days is get the Telles deal over the line, which they will, get Jadon Sancho done, and get Jovic. Jovic loan to buy is a brilliant bit of business because the risk, he's not injury prone. He's youngish. He's a player that if he does really well and we buy him, we've got a player for a few years. That's what we should be doing, not this long-term stuff. I'm nearly crying. Welcome to the members club, Wes Hillier. And don't worry, Mark, United will sign Lewis Dunk and Douglas Luiz soon, says Joel Morris. And news doing rounds about 95 million acceptable. Also the theory about Jovic, Dembele loans and Telles and Sancho. Obviously it's too much to ask for, says Breezy said. And let's make sure I get all these in. Okay. I mean, look, on Jovic, as I said to you yesterday, do I think it will happen? Probably not. But I know that he's been offered to Manchester United, and I know that Manchester United have had discussion. Look, I'll tell you how it is. United want Sancho, 90% club. They are talking to Dembele. United are talking to Jovic, and they are talking to Cavani. These are all things. It's not. I don't think any of them are advanced as the media thinks it is. But we are. We're definitely talking to those players. Telles, I think, will happen. My best case scenario of this transfer window is what I've just said. Sancho, Telles, Jovic on a loan, Smalling and a few others go out. Is there time to do it? We'll see. Sean Turner, I know you look at other teams' business, but the United tax is a real thing. If we wanted someone, it's going to be 10 to 15 million more expensive. No excuses, says Sean Turner. But that comes down to incompetence as well, Sean. That comes down to a lack of director of football. We don't get treated worse than any other football club because we're Manchester United. That's just making excuses for the Glazers. We just do. We're bad at business. If you had a director of football, you would isolate and identify your targets before the transfer window even opens. You would be speaking to clubs and players. Those players would be telling their clubs before the transfer window even closes, I want to go to United. Let's get it sorted quick. We take ages because we've got bad negotiators, and that's why we end up getting taken for a ride. If you put a decent director of football in charge of Manchester United, like what Chelsea have got and Liverpool have got and Man City have got, we wouldn't get taken for a ride. We'd have a far better scouting network and we'd be in a far better situation. Man United are a big club, but so are Barcelona, so are Real Madrid, so are PSG, so are Juventus, and they still manage to get good deals. Yeah, sometimes you've got to play big. Barcelona tried it with Griezmann, Coutinho, Ousmane Dembele. They overpaid, but those players at those times were considered some of the best players in the world. So, it does, it can happen and it does happen, but Manchester United could do far, 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 far better. United Stand News, at News United Stand, are saying that there's breakthrough. I want to have a look at this. There's a breakthrough in the Borussia Dortmund lower the asking price. Let me just have a quick look at this. I mean, just in other news, Telegraph are saying that the Newcastle are interested in not Jadon Sancho, dream on, Phil Jones and Chris Smalling. I mean, there's a double we'd all love to see. I'll have a drink of that. But Balogun, look, Guillem Balaguer, whatever you think about him, he's well known. He has got good connections in Spain, and he is saying that Manchester United would only be interested in Ousmane Dembele in a loan deal, and that Barcelona would not be looking to do that. So, you know, it's not necessarily something that I think is. I don't, you know, I think at the end of the day, to use the cliche, you're emotional. You know, you stay up and watch films when you should go to sleep and all that jazz. So I don't know what's going to happen with the Dembele thing. I mean, look, I'll be honest and I'll be frank here. I think everybody would just be so happy with signing Sancho that they'd love to have Ousmane Dembele on loan. I still think even if we get Sancho, getting Dembele is a waste of time. I'm not going to be that flip-flop who goes, oh, I'll take Dembele if we're getting Sancho as well. No, he's still a bad deal. He's still got a horrific injury record. He's still got issues over flopping at Barcelona for 3 years. He still doesn't want to come to our club. He could still be really disruptive in the dressing room because he doesn't even want to be here. So I wouldn't want him. I just want Sancho. I don't want Sancho and Dembele. I don't want us anywhere near Dembele. And it panics me that we're even considering looking at that. But look, as I said, you know, you go with what you want. You back with what you want. But I think we're in for a very, very interesting time, and I think that I'm having problems with my computer today. I was late this morning because of it. It's bloody updated. Update at 10 o'clock in the morning. That's why I was late. Tossers, and now it's updated. It's slower than it was before. How many? You know, I hate updates. I bloody hate updates. This should be for going for Goldbridge, but. Oh, we've got a new update for you. And you think, well, that's going to make things better. It makes things bloody worse. Sometimes change isn't a good thing. Although, that doesn't mean I'm pro Dan James and let's not get Sancho. I must admit. There are talks about Sionku to United, says Anurag. No, there aren't. This is Tony Cascarino on Talk Sport saying we should sign Sionku. It's like walking down the road and some irrelevant person coming up to you and saying, United should sign Neymar. Oh, I know. Let's put it all across social media. We're not in for Sionku. Not in a million years. It's just some washed up crap ex-footballer who's never played for United and has got no idea about United saying we should buy a player. You know, any of you have got more credibility than that. It's just a Talk Sport rumour. Why can't we do £110 million and a player for Sancho, says Joel Morris. Champions League draw later, says Braden Barnett. Yeah, make sure you subscribe if you're new. Just very quickly on that though, I must just say this. I saw Andy Cole and Darren Fletcher last night talking about Manchester United. Nathan says, do you trust Eric Bailly to be centre back for United? It's all about fitness. It's all about fitness with him. And Mark, I worry for your health. Says Andrew C. What if you do all these transfer videos this week, but come Monday we sign no one or end up with Dembele? Says Andrew C. Well, you'll see the breakdown live. I suppose that'll be good. Fabrizio hasn't tweeted to all the prats in the live comments, acting like I haven't got notification bings on. Yeah, what I was going to say is, so Andy Cole and Darren Fletcher last night were talking about Ousmane Dembele, and they were saying, you know, what a good signing he is, what a good player is. This is the danger of mainstream media. Look, Andy Cole and Darren Fletcher, in different ways, are United greats, right? But don't hang on their words. Listen to you. Listen to this community. They are not. I mean, I don't know whether they're United ambassadors or they want a job at United or whatever, but to me, they're just two people who are, you know, playing the half and half scarf. Yeah, I'm in it with the fans. We need players, but also I wouldn't mind a job at Man United because or they just don't have a good grasp of football. Maybe I'm being a bit too nice to them because ultimately to sit there and say, yeah, Dembele, and some of the stuff they came out with, Dembele's a good player. You know, it's a good opportunity for him to come to United and sort himself out. And I even wrote some of the things down. Great player, showcase his talents. Have a bit of a trial, see how it goes. And I'm like, hold on a minute. You're ex-United greats here. You're meant to know that we've been shit for 8 years. You're meant to know that we're trying to close a gap on Liverpool and Man City. You're meant to know quality of players that are being linked to our club. Ousmane Dembele has been injured for 18 months, basically. He's flopped. There's questions about his mentality. And you're saying, oh yeah, he's a great player to come to United and try out. We ain't just won the Premier League by 30 points. We've lost the Premier League by 30 points. We're trying to close a gap, lads. We can't afford to take risks on players who, oh, he's a good player, it'd be worth a try. No, this mentality, this fuzzy mentality needs to go. We need our ex-legends, our ex-greats to be vocal about the ineptitude at the football club. We need to be saying, you know what, I think that's a stupid signing. Look at his injury record, Frank. I don't know whether the commentator was Frank. Look at his injury record, Frank. Look at his mentality at Barcelona. Look at how he's not performed there for 3 years. United are trying to build a vision. Get Jadon Sancho. That's the player that Ollie wants. Forget Dembele. That's too much of a risk. We shouldn't be making risks like this. It's a poor signing. We shouldn't be doing it. Imagine the respect they would have got last night for doing that. No, it's the safe one, isn't it? Oh no, it looks like a good player. Looks like a good player. Worth a try. You know, is that what we are now? Worth a try. Let's beg somebody who doesn't want to come here because we might provide them a platform to go off somewhere else in a year. Come on. Mark, I agree he shouldn't be coming, but do you think getting Dembele has anything to do with our French contingent in the club, says Will Butler? Well, it shouldn't. What are you trying to insinuate? Oh, Pogba said, let's get Ousmane Dembele. Hold on a minute, Paul. You've not set the world on fire for the last 3 years. Maybe focus on your own consistency before you start telling me to take a risk on another French player. And I like Pogba, but we shouldn't be listening to it. We shouldn't be listening to our French players. They're hardly, Mr. Consistent themselves, are they? And Ollie should have his own mind. He shouldn't be listening to the dressing room. Can't Woodward contact Sancho, say we bid one more time and hand in a transfer request? Says Stephen Bellard. Watch this space on Sancho. I think we know what's going to happen in the 90% club. Dembele's a good pick in career mode, but in real life he has too many issues. Just get Sancho, says Darren Cox. Welcome to the Members Club, official Napa. And also, I've been crying all night last night for the possibility of United missing out on Sancho and signing Dembele instead, says Mo Ali. I think you're going to be smiling. I hope you're going to be smiling. After following Man United on Instagram, Jovic has now followed Matic on Instagram, says Abby. And Woodward thinks he is Florentino Perez minus the football knowledge and success, says Neil. Look, if we can get Jovic, we can get the Sancho deal done and Telles deal done, I'll go into this season with a lot more confidence than I've got now. If we go into this season with Cavani and Dembele, I think we've just seen a repeat of Van Gaal's season when he got Di Maria and Falcao, and I think we will end up the same way. Woodward, I've read that one. Please smash a like on the video, by the way, and make sure you subscribe if you're new. We're going to be live a lot over the next few days, as soon as I can sort my bloody computer out. We're going to be live a lot over the next few days, and we have got the Champions League draw coming up at 4 o'clock, so make sure you subscribe if you're new, bottom right hand corner. Ryan Lawrence says, Mark, you said weeks ago you would only start doubting Sancho to Man United when right wingers started to get reliably linked to the club. Not only has that happened, it's now the final of the window. How are you 90%? Yeah, I mean, look, I take on board what you're saying there, Ryan, but also it's the last few days of the transfer window. I said at the start of the week, we're going to get linked to players that we're not even in for. And look, the Ousmane Dembele thing is terrifying. It's terrifying, I agree. It's coming from Romano, so you've got to take it on board. But the things I'm hearing and the things I'm being told is that the Sancho deal is very much alive and there's some optimism around it. So I'm not going to move from 90% Sancho's coming to 50% because Romano says we're talking to Dembele. I still think Dembele is a very difficult deal to do. And I also know that we're still talking to Dortmund about Sancho. So it's not over yet. As I said, there's 3 things that will kill this deal for me. 1, Sancho publicly says he's staying at Dortmund. It's over if he does that. 2, the transfer window closes. Obviously it's over. Or 3, we actually do sign Ousmane Dembele in the next day or so. I'd say it's probably unlikely we're getting Sancho then. Mark, I'll lose my £100 bet. I'll be at Ed's Tuesday morning, says Habib. And Barca paid 140 million for Dembele, who couldn't do 5 juggles during his unveiling, says Udit. Yeah, don't go and watch that video. Don't go and watch the unveiling of Ousmane Dembele at Barcelona trying to do keep-ups. It's yeah. He also missed that bloody sitter against Liverpool that would have knocked them out the year they won the Champions League as well. So there you go. Yeah, please subscribe if you're new, and thanks to everyone who's becoming a member. It's crazy. It's crazy at the moment. It really is, and I don't think it's going to get any less crazy. We will be live with the Champions League draw at 4 o'clock, I think. Some people are saying it's 5 o'clock, but I think that might be European time. So I think it's 4 o'clock UK time, but we'll set the stream up. I've got to do a preview for Spurs at some point amongst all this transfer chaos. We've got a late night show tonight at about 10 o'clock. We've got the normal 8 o'clock show, which I think might move to 7 o'clock because obviously Arsenal are playing Liverpool. Some people might want to watch that. There's loads going on. And look, big up to the community. I absolutely loved that show last night. The one with Flex, KG, me. and all the other guests. It was such good fun after the match reaction. And that's what it's all about, isn't it? I think we need each other at the moment, and we need the community. So, look, I'm all for Jovic. I'm 90% on Sancho, and I'm very sure we'll get Tellez. Welcome to the Members Club, RD. Thanks everyone for tuning in, and let's just see what these next few hours have got to say. You know what? People keep saying to me, whichever way this goes, your video is going to be great. If Sancho doesn't sign, your video is going to be great because you're going to lose it. And if Sancho does sign, your video is going to be great because you're just going to be so happy, and justifiably so. Somebody actually said to me last night, which video would you rather do? Well, would I rather do the video where I probably have a heart attack from high blood pressure and rage, or would I rather do a happy video? Of course, I want it to be Sancho, but surely that's what we all want, is my point. Surely we all want this to happen, so let's get it done. And again, what I would say, and this doesn't mean a hell of a lot, but if you're sat here, Ed Woodward, at the moment, and you're like looking around, do you want to sign Sancho and actually have people like you, or do you want to go and do something where people are going to think you're a massive prat again? You know, you've got to take that into account. United will, Manchester United definitely, desperately want to get Jadon Sancho. And as the Manchester Evening News have said, the Dembele story is nothing more than a desperate emergency loan if they don't get Sancho. Desperate emergency loan. That's not my words. That's the words of Manchester Evening News. And they've got good connections with the club. Man United want Jadon Sancho desperately. If they don't get him, they'll be forced to do something desperate the other way, which will highlight their incompetence massively. So look, let's get this Sancho deal done. Sean Turner says, let's all get pissed. It's a bit early for me, Sean. And do we have a sell-on clause for Depay? Is that why we want Dembele, so Barca buy him? No, we don't isolate. We had a first refusal on Memphis Depay. We don't have a buyback. We don't have a percentage of their sales. Thanks everyone for watching. And who knows when we'll be live again. Could be an hour, could be 2 hours, but we will be live again. Speak to you in a bit.